30 years, I haven't messed up a single job.
With the arthritis you had, you can expect an occasional flare-up.
I really need to get back to work.
What do you do?
Oh, here we go.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Mark Chaffardini. Thank you so much for coming back to the Go See Talk podcast experience. When you think about action, when you think about excitement, you think of names like Cage and Statham, and maybe even Ben Foster. They're all legit. They all know what they're doing, and they do exactly what they're told thanks to Simon West. Simon, welcome to the show. How are things in your world?
They're great, but I don't know whether they do what I tell them. They do 50% of what I tell them. The rest is up to them.
Fair enough. Well, this man brought us Con Air. He brought us Wild Card. He even brought us the beautiful, wonderful video, Never Gonna Give You Up. But more on that once we get into it. But today we're super thrilled to be speaking about Old Guy, starring Christoph Waltz and Lucy Liu. Simon, I have to ask, what is it about Christoph Waltz that when he smiles, it just becomes so infectious? Like, does the crew just lose it? Do you just, can you take it seriously on set?
Well, I think, it's not just when he smiles. I think when Christoph does anything, people pay attention. He has that incredible screen presence and charisma, and he's been doing it a long time, and he's, very good at everything in that acting, toolbox, I suppose, and he has great assets. And so it's mesmerizing to watch him, really. And that's why this sort of film is you get a cast like this, and it's my life becomes so much easier because I'm not saying, okay, well, there's not much going on with the acting. I've got to put on an even bigger show in between with the action and the shootouts and all this because you don't want people to fall asleep or wait, or when's the next action sequence coming. And with someone like Christoph, that doesn't happen. You kind of want to get back to the dramatic scenes in between the action because he is mesmerizing to watch.
So let's talk about his look and what you wanted for the film. Was the wild hair and the mustache his idea, your idea, part of the script? How does that become a role, like a contribution to the film itself? Just the look of somebody.
For Christoph's look for this, I wanted him to be stuck in the 90s basically because he's in his 60s and he's a hitman, but his heyday was the 30s, and he still lives like that. He still parties, he still eats the wrong food, he drives a 90s car. So you choose that to give a clue to his character. He's still wearing the same leather jacket he had in the 90s, maybe doesn't fit quite as well. And the hairdo is more of a 90s haircut. And when he came to me, when we first saw, he had, a lot more facial hair. But, there's that balance of, you want to see the acting and also a hitman with a giant old man beard is it is not it's going to be recognizable by witnesses. So I toned that down, and so it's coming up with a look that you go, yeah, that guy could just stepped out of the 90s, but also there's enough of Christoph in there of what we love so we can see him doing his acting. So a lot of his clothes, hairstyle, and his props were based on what I wanted to portray, that he was really stuck in the past, basically.
Gotcha. I have to say that as far as Hitman movies go, this is one of my favorites. It's right up there with 3 Days to Kill with Kevin Costner and, of course, Leon the Professional. But, I love how you tell more about the story and more backstory. I mean, everyone's on the earth because of their mother, but we never really get to know that hitmen have mothers. So I love that sort of tender through line and, just try to humanize somebody who is an efficient killing machine. But do you look for those elements that are more than just a one or two dimensional character when you're reading the script, or how do you fully form something?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been a lot of Hitman movies, and I've made other Hitman movies, and often if you're going the straight route, they're ruthless, well-oiled machines, no emotions, no friends, all that. And I suspect that's not necessarily true if you're going to do a real portrayal. And the more you know about somebody, the more you're going to sympathize with them and relate to them. And so having his mother in it is kind of funny because he's doing these incredible hits and actually, and then he goes to see his mother and she makes him clean the gutters. And we've all done that. Now, no matter how successful we are at a job, you go back to your mother and she still wants you to take out, the garbage bins or something. It's like that was, and actually that was part of the discussion. Like, what should he make him do? Should he take out the garbage bin? Should he make him clean the gutter? Should he, clean the windows? And you have those discussions because you want to have that counterpoint that no matter how strange the world he operates in, he still has one side of him that is, the old, the human side that we all have, which is family, and it's endearing, and part of the story is that even though they're hitmen and they're doing these exciting missions, they're still just three people riding in a car, bullshitting and talking and arguing and having all the normal things that people do. And on the side, they're doing these hits, but they could be plumbers or traveling salesmen or whatever. But it's that juxtaposition to me that's interesting.
And there are certain movies that glamorize certain nefarious things or terrible professions. But there's a line that Lucy Liu says something in the film where she says, "You only work 2 days a month. I'm here every damn day," something like that. So might not be too bad to be a hitman. You get, 1 day
Well, I think that's
on,
what
12 days off, 1 day on.
I th yeah, I think that's why Christoph's character likes the job. It's like freedom, and he gets to be excel for a couple of hours, and then he gets a couple of weeks off to go partying and spend the money and have a great life. And when she says that line to him, he does have like, he has like, yeah, you're right. I do have he says, I don't know about that, but actually he's sort of nodding like, yeah, I absolutely agree. I only work 2 days a month. So it's true. That's why he attracted him.
Well, I'm not sure if you remember this, but Rene Clair directed And Then There Were None back in the 40s. And Walter Houston has a line that I always remember. They were toasting, and someone says, doctor, I saw you. You drank water. And Walter Houston goes, never trust a man who doesn't drink. So, in your personal opinion, should a hitman have a healthy liquor habit, or should he be clean and keep his body like a temple?
Uh, I don't think anyone should be a hitman, basically. But I think that's the question. It's not a noble profession. But if you are going to be a hitman, if you want to be the efficient, boring one, that nobody likes, yeah, be a well-oiled machine. But if you want to be a person that everybody loves, like Christoph's character, then live life to the full, eat what you want, drink what you like. You know, be a charismatic person because even if you've got a horrible job like hitman, um, it's nice to be liked by people, and I think Christoph's that person.
Fair enough. Yeah, great casting choice. Well, there's a line in the movie that says, "We took a chance and we lost." I'm paraphrasing here, but as a director, you have to know where you want to go, but sometimes you leave things open on the day to be explored. So, is there a chance that you've taken and you lost? You go, "We shouldn't have done that," or something that you skipped a chance on? You're like, "I really wish we would have done it X way." I mean, you've done so many great films and have so many impactful action scenes, but is there something that maybe stands out one way or the other?
I mean, I think every single film I've done, I would say I would do it like 50% of it again in a different way. I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, I mean, it may be more, but yeah, I mean, the thing about a film is it's so intangible, and like producers will come to me and say, well, how long will you take to do this scene? So they can budget it. And I'd say, oh, I'll do it in this time. I say, well, how long will you give me? Because I could do it in 2 hours, or I could do it in 2 weeks. It's a piece of clay, and I can just keep chipping away and making the sculpture, whatever. So um, every film I've watched, if I do watch them, I don't tend to watch my own films until about 5 or 6 years after I've made them, if they're on TV or something, because I instantly see all the bits that I wanted to do in a different way or better. So um, yeah, it's a thankless task in some ways because you watch what's up on the screen and the audience does, and they might like some bits and not like other bits. But when I watch it, all I see is what I didn't get. I don't see what's actually up there. I go, yeah, I should have done that better. I should have done that. So that's the problem.
Well, I'm in architecture and I have those same things. I walk through a space and go, well, that got cut because of budget. I wish I would have done that differently, but that's life.
The
Well,
same conversation, yeah.
well, to take this out, I'm going to ask you a fun question. You can take it's multiple choice what you want to answer. Do you have an ass kicker license plate? And two, what was it like being behind the camera for Never Gonna Give You Up? I'm going to let you answer which one you want.
Well, I'll answer both, but but I don't have the arse kicker license. But I wish I'd kept that from that movie. That would have been great on the wall. But I was so busy making the film, I didn't collect a lot of memorabilia from that film. And the Never Give You Up, it's such a long time ago, and I was so young that I can only remember certain conversations. There was one conversation about whether Rick should have his sleeves rolled up on his raincoat or not, and that's about all I can remember. And I think that conversation with his manager lasted 20 minutes of should the cuffs be up, should they be down, should they be up, because it stuck in my mind. But apart from that, it was just it was a long time ago, and I was very young. I must have been like 22 or something. So
Well, like a ripple in a pond, the things that you do resonate, whether it's action or Astley. So, Simon West, everyone, thank you for your time. Check out Old Guy February 21st, and we will catch you next time.
They are gonna root out every last one of us. We need to call in the cavalry.
I never get weight, yeah, I make all the checks, but I never been checked. You say this is your best, well, I'm not.